Hi there, I'm Chuck Rozanski. I'm the owner of Mile High Comics in Denver, Colorado, and I'm sorting through comics right now, which is just about one of my favorite things in the whole world to do. I bought these particular books about a year ago. This is 3 skids here that Oliver in Allentown at The Encounter sold to me. And I'm just now getting around to sorting these out because we're getting ready for the Denver Comic Con here in a couple of weeks. And I need more comics for in our bins. Our convention bins, which run the entire length of this room on both sides, constitute, there's about 100 bins and, there's 60 bins. Each one holds about 18,000, so it's about 100,000 comics. And what we have here is basically the largest mobile comic shop in the world. The purpose of today's newsletter, though, I wanted to talk about eBay, and I wanted to talk about what eBay dealers, as a general rule, do, and I thought that this would be a good illustration of that. This particular box of comics that I'm working on is what I euphemistically call mystery meat. I buy it by the box and I go through here and I look for things that we need for our online. Right now I'm doing this pretty much from memory because I'm going through and I'm pulling out books that are high probability books for us to need for inside of our convention booth. They're being taken from this area and they're being taken into the back of the building into the sorting area that I showed everyone in video number 6. There they're broken down alphabetically by letter, then each letter is broken down alphabetically by the second letter. So for example, we do AA, AB, AC, AD, and so on. Then they'll come back here and we'll actually run these against these files where we have everything that's in alphanumeric order and we have it really beautifully organized. All of which just takes a hell of a lot of time and money. This is something that eBay guys are not going to do. They're going to look at a box like I'm going through right here, and it has probably 350 comics in it, and a typical guy who's trying to sell either on Craigslist or eBay, he's going to flip through this and he's going to look for something that he can turn around and sell for $5 or $10. If he finds 5 books like that in a long box, he's thrilled, and then he's going to turn around and flip the long box and maybe get 50 or 75 bucks for it. He's happy. This comes as a huge shock to people when they're selling their collections. Because more often than not, when you're selling your collection, you take a look at what you paid for those books. And 350 books, if you paid an average of even $2 a piece, which is half a current cover price, you've got $700 into that box. But in today's marketplace, you're not going to be able to get back your cover price. There's basically no way. In a few instances where you might have bought something that was particularly noteworthy, or you literally speculated on a book, then yeah, you might get some gain in value on that particular issue. But as a general rule, and this is what I tell everybody who reads comics, when you're reading comics, kind of figure on it like going to a movie and then you've got your ticket stub left over. If you get anything out of that ticket stub at all, you're ahead of the game because you bought the comic to read it, right? That's the purpose of reading the comic. And so residual value, particularly when you're paying $3 and $4 a comic, is usually not going to match up particularly well. Also, the fact remains that there are, as I said in one of my earlier videos, 2 billion comics sitting out there right now in plastic bags, in long boxes, in closets, under beds, in garages, and this is an asset base that's trading all the time. Now, here at Mile High Comics, we provide people with the convenience of being able to find an individual issue when you want it or need it to fill in a run. So let's say that you go to a flea market and you buy a couple of boxes from a guy who's getting rid of his collection, and he has 80% of a run of Robin or Azrael or a big grouping of Batmans, but there's some missing issues. What we do at Mile High Comics is we try to provide those individual issues for you, which is an entirely different cost function than someone who's selling either highly desirable individual issues or selling by the box. And so the cost parameters that folks deal with that are selling in bulk are totally different than what we deal with. It's so labor intensive, it's hard for me to describe. I mean, I can tell you that at Mile High Comics, and we're a relatively small company, but we put $1 million a year into labor. And I'll guarantee you, my staff will tell you that they're not being overpaid. I wish that we could pay more. I wish that we had the ability to do that, but then again, we're competing against people who are selling long boxes of comics for $50 and $75, and they're doing that themselves. They have no labor costs, they have no taxes, no insurance, maybe rental on a storage unit, but basically it's their own labor and their own input, and they're doing it for fun. For us trying to do this professionally, it's a whole different equation, and it makes it a lot more difficult. But at the same time, after 46 years of doing this, I cannot wait to lift the lid off of a long box for the first time and look at it and say, oh hell, look at there. And this ain't a setup. I didn't open this before, but there's the 10 Nights of the Beast. What the hell? This is really cool. The really great Jim Starlin miniseries that they did with Batman. And let's see. Yeah, it only goes to $4.25. But anytime that you're getting a beautiful stack of Batmans like this, look at this, going back to 75-cent covers, 1985. These are high grades. These are going to be going into our convention booth. And for those of you who shop with us at the Denver Comic Con, you may see these. If you don't see them there, you may see them this year at this year's San Diego Comic Con. This is Chuck Rozanski from Mile High Comics, and I'm going to go back sorting comics now. Talk to you next week. Bye.